Hello everybody. That's right. Do it. It's alright. Hello everybody. My name is Timothy, or Timmy for short, and here is another amazing adventure of me and Oppenheimer, who for some reason thinks he's a cocker spaniel. Now, one lovely spring morning, I said to Oppenheimer, let's go camping and have a picnic. Great idea. Truth be known though, it was not to be a real picnic. Well, that's not strictly true. In our eyes it was, but it was to be in a hideout at the top of Mum and Dad's garden. Now, they had a lovely garden full of colourful and lovely fragranced flowers, and we loved it to bits. It even had its own golf course, which we made one Saturday afternoon out of 9 yoghurt cartons. I know it was a Saturday when we made it, because afterwards we watched the football results on the teleprinter on the television. Those were the days teams like Huddersfield and Orient were in the First Division, and that was a fact because I had photographs of each of these teams and all the other teams in the First Division on my bedroom wall, and I knew every player by name. Although the one picture of Crystal Palace's team was torn, and that was Oppenheimer's fault, as he thought the brown leather ball was a beef burger. Yeah, so the silly thing, he jumped up and tore the picture. As consolation to the poor little thing, I told him it was a round bit of the inside of an old Cornish pasty, and he thanked me for slobbering all over my face because he doesn't like Cornish pasties. Anyway, I digress. Enough about football. Back to the camping expedition. Have you got everything, Oppenheimer? I said, and he barked twice, meaning we were ready to go, ready to roll. Out we went on this lovely summer's day, and I just said, cats! That was it. Oppenheimer bolted like an arrow in a straight line right through the rose bushes. Needless to say, the cat escaped, but truth be told, it jumped onto the garden gate and fell backwards and onto Oppenheimer's back and ran off. You know, Oppenheimer was so very, very lazy, he didn't even bother to chase it again. Then I suddenly slipped on, well, something very, very slippery and smelly. Realising what this was, Oppenheimer immediately jumped onto the garden wall and into the neighbour's garden to do his business. I don't know why he did this, because it made the neighbours mad. But Sweep, his middle name, always smiled when he did this because he knew how to wind people up, especially scientists. Now, we had several discussions which always ended up in an argument, for example about which came first, the dog biscuit or the egg, or what is at the edge of the observable universe. Lots of bones, steaks, trousers and a big furry thing, Oppenheimer used to say, and when I asked him why, he said, well, there's the Great Bear, which is a great big furry thing, and there's the belt of Orion, so his trousers must be somewhere. Now, crawling on our tummies with Oppenheimer dragging the tent by his teeth, we made it to our secret hideout, and we were safe because nobody saw us. I knew it was going to be one of those days because Sweep would not help me put the tent up unless he had a treat each time he did something. He'd grab a wooden post and bring it to me, and then he got his reward. I had to throw his bright yellow ball for him to retrieve before he would do anything else. Finally, after 7 minutes and 37 seconds, we had the tent up. But I noticed it was inside out, so we had to start again. Finally, it was up and finished, and so we went inside. I saw there were lots of bite marks on the fabric and told Oppenheimer, and he replied, well, how the hell did you expect me to bring it with me? And went on to say, you just try and bring it in your teeth. It's no joke, I can tell you. And I thought, yes, Oppenheimer, you do have a point there. Now we were feeling a bit tired, So I sat on the floor and Oppenheimer lazily let his back rest on what he thought was the solid inside of the tent. And it was so funny because he just suddenly disappeared. In fact, he rolled out just like a sausage. I laughed and laughed and laughed until I saw a gigantic spider near the tent entrance, crawling towards me, and so thought how clever Oppenheimer was, giving me the idea, so I rolled out as well. I don't like spiders. We had so much fun that day as we growled, barked, laughed and smiled and wound each other up until the sun came up again. I hope you've enjoyed listening to this story. Thank you.
Lovely. Well indeed.
Thanks. Oh, cheers. Yes, great. Thank you.